All right. What's up, internets? What's up, YouTubes? Hey. Hi. You guys can talk too besides eating.
Hello.
What's up, everybody? Sorry.
Dinner.
I had myself muted, so there's that.
I thought Alan would at least talk for 2 minutes and I'd be able to finish this last piece of chicken.
I'll keep talking. So welcome to the Will Reads. Oh, go ahead, Chris.
No, I was just going to say, for those of you who think we're actually going to be ready, you are sadly mistaken. You have the wrong podcast.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the Will Reads. So we're on episode 2 of season 6, chapters 1 and 2 of the Lord of Chaos. So I'm excited to dive into these chapters. No new patrons this week. A little housekeeping up front. So that's okay. We did take last week off, in case you guys didn't know. We played a little bit of Wheel of Time Fortune. So what a fortune! Woo!
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. And we already got our next one set up. So on June 25th, mark the calendar. It's a Saturday night at 9 o'clock. We are going to be playing Wheel of Fortune, and we already have 3 contestants lined up. I'm happy to announce those today. So those contestants are Brother Dan, Brother Ryan, and Kay Sadai, all from the Way of the Leaf. So it's going to be fun.
Are they spoilery? Or will it be spoilery?
It's going to be no spoilers past book 4, because Kay just finished book 4. So just finished Shadow Rising.
Ooh.
So that's
we just have to be mindful of the live chat, probably. I mean, you never know. Somebody might slip one in there.
They're not supposed to be looking at the chat anyway. So, you know.
No, I mean, if we were to watch.
Oh, yeah. If you guys watch. Good point. Yeah.
I like to watch.
Yeah.
So do I.
It should be fairly non-spoilery. And we'll keep the chat down pretty low spoilers. So it can be open to everyone.
Do spoilers have gray area? Can you say kind of non-spoilery-ish? Isn't it kind of like it is or it isn't?
I mean, I'm in the camp it is grayish. I mean, so like if someone's name, for example, I don't consider a spoiler, or like
that's true because we have heard names and it's like, I wonder who that is, and then 3 books later, oh, I remember that name.
Yeah, and it's I mean, things like sword forms I would consider spoilers because I mean, it's not a spoiler.
Sure.
Like half people don't even know what it means anyway. Like, boar rushes down the mountain. Oh, that gives away nothing from the plot. Anything plot based, obviously, is a spoiler. So anyway, as far as other like statistics, I was gonna do like Twitter or something like that. Let's see, like how many followers do we have on Twitter right now? 2,300. So we've moved up. I think last time I announced that we were about 100 less. So it gave about 100 followers.
Wow.
Since then, little more. So yeah.
Not a hundo.
Yeah, another hundo. So still growing on the Twitter front. But yeah, excited to keep on growing all the socials. I am more active now on Facebook. If you guys haven't noticed, if you haven't been on Facebook, I am posting more there. I'm posting everywhere. We're doing lots of giveaways. I think they've all pretty much wrapped up for this month, but we'll do more next month. And yeah, we always do giveaways. So,
and I have to say, on Facebook and Instagram, Alan is not like super conceited where he posts something and then likes his own comments. It's just that I see it, so I like it. But when I interact with the Will Reads on Facebook, I'm doing it as the Will Reads, and I always forget that. So
we
keep liking our own stuff, and that's me. That's my fault. Yeah. But I do like it. So hey,
hey. We like our own stuff. It's okay. It's okay.
I like it when you put up a joke and I'm like the only one that puts a laughy face for like a few hours. I keep checking on it and I'm like, oh man, it's just us. then you get like a handful more by the end of the day when people catch up.
Nobody else, just us. Yeah. So let me make sure I got all my stuff up and running. There we go. As far as personal life goes, so I if you notice my background, it's the outside because I've rearranged my office now, and hopefully it works out better. I had it in a weird configuration before, and it wasn't really conducive for anything. So that's been like my day to day. Last weekend, I don't even know what we did. It's all like a blur. We did a lot. It was a busy day, like on Saturday, if I remember correctly. Let's see. It was a day of adventure. So we woke up and we went to the art walk, which was fun. We went to the Pirate Festival in downtown Hampton.
Awesome.
So that was fun with the kids and the cannons firing and everyone in pirate gear. So every year Hampton does a pirate festival. It's Blackbeard Festival because that's where they put Blackbeard's head after they beheaded him. It's in the Hampton River. So we have a festival for them. Yeah, so it's a lot of fun, lots of pirate stuff. So cool pirate ships in the river and then cannons firing and all sorts.
I mean, Captain Christopher was a pirate, so
technically, yeah.
And he started, he brought everybody here to start Virginia, so we have to celebrate pirates.
Yeah, I mean, William Mary was founded by pirate money, so
yeah.
College of William Mary.
It's necessary.
we say pirate booty. That's why I got confused. It's not pirate money. It's pirate booty.
So then after the art walk, they have a neighborhood art walk where like tons of artists come out and try to sell their art stuff. They close down the street and there's like beer and food, a few trucks and everything like that. A lot of fun. We did that with the kids, and then we went to Greek Festival and got food for dinner from the Greek Fest, which is delicious. So I had a shank of lamb, which was the only time of year really I ever have that, and lots of
I'd be nervous ordering the shank in Newport News. Some dude's just gonna come up and stab you with a broken toothbrush.
Dude, they're out of the what is it? What's the spanacle? I can't pronounce it. It's the phyllo bread stuff.
Yeah, you were saying it right.
Yeah, I just don't know how spanacola or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a horrible at Greek, but they're all out of it. But there's like apparently a guy that had bought all of it and was upselling it in the parking lot out of his trunk, like straight out Newport News. Like someone come up there, it's like, oh, I came from the spanacopola, that's what it is. And like, oh, we're all out of it. The guy with the toothpick comes in, hey, I heard you want some spanacopola. Yeah, go into the parking lot. Opens his trunk up, has hundreds of pastries, just got that phyllo bread.
Oh wow,
it's Newport News for you.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, so that was my weekend. It was a lot of fun, a lot of eating, a lot of walking, good times. So, what about you? What's going on in personal life for you guys?
Well, hopefully you guys can hear me. I'm on a new internet setup this time, and it seems to be a little glitchy. So hopefully this works out. What did I do? We moved into the new place. Well, started to. I got all of my stuff in there, which every time you move, I pulled my stuff out of storage, and I remembered all the big items, but I forgot all the boxes of stuff and how much stuff I had. So we're still not set up in the house. There's like half empty boxes everywhere, beds kind of half put together, all that jazz. But Meredith had her kids over the weekend. I had my kids over the weekend. So we couldn't just put the house together. We did a little bit of that. And then we joined the neighborhood pool, which is only a block away. We can walk to it. Took the kids there. They had a fantastic time. They have a 1 meter and a 3 meter board, Alan. Not true spring boards, but the 3 meter gets a decent bounce. I can actually get a good hop off of it. Pulled off some pretty sweet 1.5s, landed a double.
Can you still do a gainer?
Got lectured by Meredith that I'm going to mess my back up, that sort of thing.
Can you still do a gainer?
Yeah, that's about it. And so I guess this next weekend we're going to finish up the move-in process. And yeah.
Can you hear me, Ian?
Yeah.
Can you still do a gainer?
They have in bold print, it says no gainers. And after I did my 1.5 and then I did my double, I got up again and I turned around and I was like, Ryder, watch this. And the lifeguard was just staring at me like, I know what you're about to do. I was like, oh shit, he's making eye contact. So yeah, I'm gonna bust one out when
you're like, I used to be on a college dive team, so
seriously,
yeah, you were.
Yeah. I could survive a 2 and a smack. Okay, I've done it plenty of times.
I've done a quarter and a smack.
Yeah, if you don't quite make the 2.5, if you do the 2 1/4, kind of painful.
Yeah, it hurts.
Well, I appreciate you guys taking the time to play Wad of Time or Wad of Fortune. What was it?
Wad of Fortune.
Wad of Fortune. Tuesday, we did wedding stuff all day Tuesday or all evening Tuesday and Wednesday, like from the time I got off work until 11 to 12 o'clock in the morning. So we are coming down to the wire, 4 months and a couple of weeks, and we will be walking down the aisle. So we are at that point where we're having to make decisions, and I'm in with a group of introverts that don't like to make decisions. So it's
Lovely.
just
Fun.
been anyway.
Yeah.
I ended up in, I didn't tell anybody because it was like a quick in and out, but I was in Newport News this past weekend.
What?
Yep. So I came into town because, again, making decisions. The fiance's parents did not like our save the dates. They thought, Chanel has lost a lot of weight. Chrissy lost some. We need more up-to-date photos before we send save the dates out. I'm like, you do know I sent them out already, right?
I had on my fridge.
Yeah.
I mean, I saved the date, bro. It's saved, locked in. Pow.
It's locked in. It's there.
And they're like, well, but we haven't sent ours, so we need updated pictures. And when I tell you, I called my photographer friend and was like, hey, we want updated photos, and we're coming in town Friday, and we want to take them Saturday morning before we go to a graduation. Graduation's at 2. Go. So we had a very busy weekend between, actually Friday morning was the shoot. So we got there Thursday night, the photography shoot Friday morning, graduation Friday afternoon. And then I picked my nephews up and took them to Colonial Williamsburg Saturday because I haven't seen them since Christmas. And then turned around and went to a graduation party that afternoon. And then we got a little ways down the road Saturday night and finished the rest of the drive Sunday and crashed. We have never been more wanting of our bed, but very fun, very cool to see a few of my old boys and girls club kids graduate and some friends of the family, children walk across the stage. So it's always nice to see that moment of success and then the moment of fear the next day when they're like, I don't have school to go to anymore. Now what? And it's hilarious to be like, it's okay. You don't have to know, but you got to figure something out. It's like, welcome to adulthood. That's when it really smacks you in the face.
I know a recruiter.
Yeah. It's like college, military, or go to work. You have 3 choices.
Yeah.
And back when we were in school, it was shipyard, military, or college.
Go with the yard. The yard's still, I think the yard's still hiring, so it's yeah, you can still work there.
Exactly.
Yeah, they don't lay off until before Christmas.
Yeah.
It's the
truth. I always know because someone always posts the video or a Facebook post about the shipyard shutdown every year, because they shut down the shipyard for Christmas every year for like a couple of weeks to let everybody off. But the local dancing gentlemen's clubs have specials for the shipyard shutdown. So there's one friend I have that always like gives a shout out to all the women that have to work at 7 a.m. in the morning for shutdown. Good old neighborhood.
Good times.
Gotta love it.
Gotta love it. So, you guys ready to get into these chapters?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I will say again, I'm still a little glitchy. If it gets bad, shoot me a message. I might have to turn off my camera just so it doesn't get too wonky. But until you say something, I'll just roll with it.
Okay. You seem fine to me so far.
Yeah, actually, Alan sounds worse than you do.
Yeah.
Well, that's usually the case.
You know.
It is what it is.
Are they letting you grow a beard? Is that within
No, I just keep wearing my
regulation?
mask everywhere. What's
that's
bad
not
is
reg.
During the actual mobilization, like I tore into a couple of guys that were doing that, growing beards behind their mask, and like I know hypocrisy and all that jazz, but the depression here is like real. You got to just pick and choose your battles. I mean, nobody's gonna mess with me for having a beard under my mask. It's miserable here. There's nothing to do, so I'm growing a fucking beard.
There you go.
You're getting paid to do it?
Yeah, I'll bust it every now and then. I'll be at the gas station pumping gas, and I'll take the mask off, so I'm like in uniform with the beard. And when you do that at Bragg, everybody's like, "What's that?
You can afford to go to gas stations? Look at this! Look at this roller over here! Look at this high roller!"
Look, he's like, I'm sitting back doing nothing because it's money.
It takes 7 gallons to fill my tank. Yeah. So
Yeah,
no
that's
biggie.
$35 these days.
Yeah.
I was so pissed. Let me go ahead and go on that rant. When I crossed that damn Virginia line and the gas jumped 35 cents,
Yep.
I about went the fuck off. Excuse me. Oh, I'm on
I fill up
YouTube and
I fill up in North Kakalaki every time.
Yeah,
I was like, I about cried. I literally, I told y'all before, I stick the thing into my car now and I click it on and I walk into the store to buy a bottle of water just so I don't have to watch the ticker go up.
Yeah,
Because I'm like,
I prepay now. Just I'm just gonna run on hopes and prayers.
Yeah.
And
I'm like, it's all going on the credit card, and I stick that bad boy in, and I walk away. I wait for the credit card bill to hit, and I'm like, damn, where did all that come from? Like, well, they'll get it eventually.
Yeah, I actually stopped at a gas station this morning, and I was gonna get gas because I have like 99 miles left until my tank runs out, and that's plenty. And normally I wait till it gets a lot lower than that, but I was like, oh, it's under 100. I'll stop and get gas, and I looked at the price, and it was at $4.89 a gallon, and I was sitting there like, yeah, I can let it go run a little lower.
I still got 60 miles left. That's my thought. I still got.
He turns off the AC and cracks the windows.
So I'm like, we're gonna let this run for a while, see how far we can get.
On another note, Ian, if you're bored, Brandon Sanderson's oh darn, it just Skyward. So I've listened to all 3 books.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I consumed them in like a manner of 4.5 days.
Yeah.
Whoa.
They're really good listens. I did enjoy it. I'm waiting on the 4th one to come out now. Comes out in 2023. So had I known that, I probably wouldn't have consumed them so fast, but it was supposed to be a quote unquote trilogy. And I get to the end of the 3rd book and I'm like, this is where they're leaving it? So then I Google it and it's like, oh, it's not a trilogy anymore. The 4th book comes out in 2023. I'm like, God damn it. Like, really?
Yeah, the end of Sanderson books, they call them Sanderlanche because it's like an avalanche of action at the end of every
yes
book. It's like,
it is very much like Wheel of Time, where like it gets this big build up and then it just like takes you on a roller coaster. And then I like for this one, I'm like, oh, how is he gonna end all of this craziness in 35 pages? Which was like an hour worth of listening or 2 hours worth of listening.
Yeah.
And then we get there and I'm like, this feels so incomplete. I'm really upset. He's supposed to be a much better author than this.
There's a 4th one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So while you're waiting, you can go into some more Sanderson. There's Stormlight, there's Mistborn, there's all sorts of things.
I'm going to now. The book was Skyward. Yes.
So his sci-fi. Is that Skyward? Is it?
It is sci-fi.
It's sci-fi. But I'm not sure if it's part of. Is it part of the Cosmere?
I have no. I'm just venturing, so somebody in the chat will have to answer that.
So it is non-Sky Cosmere. So most of it. So I just looked it up. I just googled it. So yeah, most of his books, like even though they're completely different everything. Different magic systems, different everything are in the Cosmere. So the Cosmere is like basically the galaxy, and each story takes place on different planets, and different magic systems, and also stuff like that. But they're all kind of loosely interconnected. So it's like a giant, like kind of like MCU. The Cosmere is Sanderson's MCU, but Skyward is not Cosmere. So.
Yeah, so they said somebody in the chat said young adult is not part of the Cosmere, which it is a young adult book. I thoroughly enjoyed it, but I like young adult books because every now and then I like to relive the good life.
There you go.
Glory days. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, if you get into the Cosmere books, they're definitely not YA. They have deep mental health issues, and I mean it's good. Anyway, so let's get right into it since we were going to. So chapter 1. It is Lion on the Hill. And our chapter symbol is a heron-marked blade. At least the hilt. With a heron on the hilt. And we start the same way we start every book. At least past the prologue. With a couple of lines. If anybody wants to read where the wind's coming from this time.
The wheel of time turns and ages come and pass, leaving memories that become legends. Legends fades to myth, and even myth is long forgotten when the age that gives its birth comes again. In one age, called the third age by some, an age yet to come, an age long past, a wind rose among brown thicket hills in Kyrian. The wind was not the beginning. There are neither beginnings nor endings to the turn of the wheel of time, but it was a beginning. With the italic A.
And then the wind flows over to Rand, who's practicing swords, not with one opponent, not with two, not even with three. He decided to be like, yo, I want a challenge, so come at me. And he has 4 guys, all established soldiers, fighting him at once. 1 on 4. Let's go.
Yeah, this didn't seem like way out of line for me. I know we'll get into like people in the area, their responses, but I mean, what else is he gonna do? Like when he has downtime in between these different fights and figuring out where he's gonna go, this is probably a great stress relief. So yes, it's training, but it's also getting some angst out. I mean, why not?
Yep.
So the answer was westward.
And I still think it's important that he continue to be able to fight without the power, just in case he gets stuck in a position where he doesn't have the power and needs to fight.
Agreed. And again, the way that the wind was blowing was westward, which I never actually stated, but it was westward. And it's really interesting to kind of take a look at the way this was set up, because it talks about how bleak things are. It's like the farmers try not to look at their fields that had produced fall crops. It's like the wind was blowing. There was so much heat. Nothing at all was happening. Like there was no snow like there should be. Like these people are at their wits' end because they're trying to figure out why their world wasn't going like it should be. A lot of crying, a lot of tears, a lot of upset people. Their beautiful city not looking so good. And you really sparked something, Ian. I'm gonna go forward to your statement of, in case he has to fight where he can't use the powers, what if he has to fight in the steading at some point?
Ooh.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think of that. But
that would be a point where he would not have power. But I mean, what better place to fight the Dark One than in the steading when the power doesn't reach? Assuming that this is an actual physical being.
Well, assuming it's not Rand himself.
That too.
Maybe this last battle is an inward battle. It's a battle he's fighting. Who's going to win?
A whole book about Rand's thoughts, I'll pass. That's when I quit this podcast. If it'd be different if it's Perrin, then I might roll with you. But that's when I quit this podcast.
There you go. So yeah, I think one of the nobles comes up to him and he's like, well, they obviously plan to coordinate attack, and Rand kind of gives up. Well, I can't always count on my enemies not to plan an attack. I mean,
right.
That's fine. That's kind of what I want. I want to be challenged. And yes,
right. And this is the lady that in his thoughts, he's like, yeah, these people, they're trying to throw shade on each other. They're over here playing the game, but they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They can't play it like the was it the Carianans or however you pronounce that sort of thing. So
yeah,
this is kind of like wannabe nobles. They do seem like the weakest bunch of nobles we run into. If what's his name, Bashir wasn't there, they'd all be a joke. He's like the only one that actually brings any sort of esteem to this crowd. Well, in the Aiel, of course, but the nobles they're janky.
Well, they're all trying to get favor and and curry favor and groveling to Rand.
But it's such an obvious in like weak way. I mean, so far I'm not impressed. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think Rand is either.
No. Yeah. And he shouldn't be. He's seen better.
I mean, it's good to note that Rand is seeking to find the, most vicious individuals to go against. He's even paying the man that lays a blow on him an extra day's coin, which kind of goes to show Rand's development. I mean, he went from farm boy who had some ingrained skills to going through multiple forms and seeing patterns in places that he wouldn't have seen them before, dodging and slicing and making short work of other actual warriors. I mean, Rand really hasn't been in any legitimate battles for real. He's been in very few at this point. What, 3? 2?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and as they're holding court, of course, Davrin Bashir is there, and the leader of Saldea that we had met from the prologue, and who we talked about multiple times before that. But he's kind of challenging Rand on what's the wisdom of fighting with a sword. He says, you can use the power. Why are you risking? You're going to make a mistake sooner or later and get yourself killed by doing that. Just use the power. And what's the wisdom in it? And Rand's kind of like, well, I want to keep myself, in good shape and that, gives his reason. So what do you think of this whole entire?
Plus, it's a great way to stay in shape.
Yeah. Yeah. But what do you think about Davin Bashir's points?
Well, all of them. We haven't got into the dagger toss yet, have we?
No.
I was about to get there, but yeah. I was
right. So just shy of that, and I guess it doesn't matter because even including that, he's getting straight to the point. And I like that he's being direct with Rand, and they're able to have this frank conversation. Rand, with Moraine gone now, and Egwene's not around, he needs someone there that's willing to be very direct with him and say the things maybe that he doesn't want to hear. And Bashir seems like that type of person that, hey, I'm just gonna lay it out there. This is what I'm still gonna follow you. Like I'm following you, okay? Yeah. But you're being an asshole. Like he needs that kind of friend. So I'm liking the way this is developing so far.
A friend that'll throw a dagger at you.
I'm
but
liking,
it's a great point.
Well, and you're right, making points. One of the other guys is like, oh, another Joram. And then, of course, Bashir was like, so are you another Joram, Lord Dragon? So there's the sarcasm. Like, dude, he even says it. Well, Joram faced 10 when Bashir was like, it's okay to spar, but sparring is 5. You're going to end up getting your brain splattered all over the ground in a melee like that. He said, practicing or not. He's like, well, Joram once faced 10. He's like, well, are you going to equate yourself to the greatest swordsman in history? Like, I agree with Ian. He needs that person, and who better than parents' father-in-law to like he might as well. Just go ahead. He might not know this yet, but look out for your son-in-law's best friend.
While we're on the topic of Bashir, Jordan does a great job of describing everything and everyone. But for whatever reason, when I went through the first description of Bashir, I skimmed through it so quickly. I only picked up on a couple of things. So my mental image of him is very cartoony right now. It's kind of like he's a vertical piece of penne pasta, but he's all white and the eyes just kind of sit on top, sandwiched between a mustache and his eyebrows with a beak. And then he's got a belt with his like cool cane thing. And that's like, and I even try to go back and reread his initial description to see if I could get a different mental image. And that's all I got.
So he's kind
of like a
from Muppets.
Muppety. When he talks, it's kind of like the Canadians from South Park, and the top half just kind of wobbles around. Gotcha. Yeah, so that's what's in my head whenever
stout
he shows
old
up.
Soldier in my mind.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
He looks more like you. He's in.
Yeah.
And then he throws a dagger. And Rand stops it, channeling. And everyone loses their shit. Swords come out, veils
except
go
Bashir.
Up. Yeah, except for Bashir. He's just laying back like
he's still chilling.
I mean, the maidens all veil. The noblemen draw their swords. And Rand just tells everyone to stop. And Bashir's like, yeah, I just proved a point. Channeling's more effective than a sword. There you go.
Yeah, which is it's pretty much on point. Go ahead,
That
Chris.
scene was dope, though. It's like Rand did not move a muscle. Instead, he seized Sidene, the male half of the true source. It took no more thought than breathing. Sidene flowed into him, carrying the Dark One's taint, an avalanche of foul ice, a torrent of reeking molten metal. It tried to crush him, to scour him away, and he rode it like a man balancing atop a collapsing mountain. He channeled a simple weave of air that wrapped up the dagger and stopped it at an arm's length from his chest. Emptiness surrounded him. He floated in the middle of it, in the void, thought and emotion distant. Like, I can't wait for that to be on an episode. I know we haven't really talked about the show in a while, and I know it's going to be 3 years before we get to this point. I almost forgot about the show until I listened to and then read that moment, because I can just see like Rand, the character that we know, and then Dagger flying, and then they have to like show the actual weave of the wind. And I see it more like a swirling vortex that like circles it really quickly and then just like freezes it. And then he just kind of picks it out of the air and just looks at it like, huh. I want it to be a moment of like realization that there was a point being made.
There should be a little bit of aha there. I hope it's a good lesson.
Because he's in the void, so there is no emotion. So he should be thinking as clearly as possible. And I want it to just be like that light bulb moment. I want to see it in his eyes, so they better make sure he acts well in that scene. It better happen for that point.
I'm not going to tell y'all my mental image every time they say touching the black one's taint, like, or the dark one's taint.
You said black one, so we already know.
Okay, anyway, so you can tell what the mental image is.
And then, as all this is happening, Luce Theron does. I'm going to try to just go on past that.
See, that was worse because y'all get to see us cut up.
So as all this is going on, or as it's wrapping up, Rand starts to hear Luce Theron in his head again. Saying the only way to live is to die. 42, the meaning of life, the universe, and everything. And Rand, so I mean, he's hearing Luz more and more. I mean, obviously, 2 books ago, Luz is not his head at all. You can argue that in the second book, if you go back, there might be hints of it, but doesn't know who it is and what's going on. But now we know who, it's Luz in his head. We don't know whether it's him just being insane or if it's actually Luz or what's going on there, but it's happening more often. And is this the madness? Is this the taint creating madness, or is it something else?
Maybe this is the last battle. Maybe that's what it is, the internal struggle. One of the big things that popped out reading this is I am no longer concerned with Rand having to die, because Matt had to die, and Matt's back. Asmodean died and then came back, and then the fucker died again. But, it could be maybe by the end of these many books, intentional that Rand is strategically put in a position where he gives himself up only for somebody else to be able to come in and, do the final move on the Dark One. Let me
Rand
get that
is
right.
a Horcrux.
How about that?
Must be gotten rid of before the actual one can die.
Yeah. If Luce Theron takes over, it destroys the world. If Rand's able to keep control and, he needs to learn from him, sure, but in the end, be triumphant and maintain who he is, then, saves the world.
Right. So I did mention the 42 meaning of life, universe, and everything. And Douglas Adams never confirmed this, but there's a fan theory out there that why 42? And if you add up all the sides of a single die, it's 21. So the meaning of life, the universe, and everything, 42 would be 2 die. That's the meaning of life, the universe, and everything.
What about taxes?
The meaning of life is roll the dice. I like
it's
that.
To die. No, just to die. Like.
Oh, I get it. I now get it.
You can edit that out, Alan.
No,
Live.
I mean, I find it fascinating. It's a good
Yeah.
philosophical argument, and I don't know. Douglas Adams never confirmed that, but it's
Sure.
I like that.
Still.
I
That's
like
cool.
that.
It fits. It's neat.
It's neat, concise.
We didn't even have to touch Fibonacci. That's it's easy.
Yeah. Anyways, don't get me started on numbers, man. Go for hours. So also he does make a comment about taking care of Samuel in Iliad. So do you think that's the next play? Is going down there and fighting more Forsaken?
Too soon to tell, and especially in the chapter after this, Rand has so much that he's about to learn about himself, male channelers, maybe even more about the Forsaken. It's too soon to say.
Yeah.
I mean, and if we're taking Bashir seriously, first and foremost, we don't want to meet his wife. but second, he's pushing for Aes Sedai so much. And of course, we have here Rand alluding to the fact that he might have some backup. So in my mind, and being the fan of wizards and witches that I am, we're about to have some real Hogwarts shit occur.
Okay.
And like we've got the academy started, the male Aes Sedai, if we can call them that. The male channelers are pouring in, ready to learn. We're gonna have some Aes Sedai joining, and they're going to now learn to cultivate their powers and learn some new workarounds for Our Lady Aes Sedai so that they can use their powers effectively, because they can only use them against dark friends, but if they don't know if the person's a dark friend or not, then they're kind of caught in that loop. So we need to find some workarounds to kind of break that, and then we need to get the two of them, male and female, working together.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think that
should
should be our direction, but
yeah,
I have more faith in Jordan to create a better story than that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, like when Bashir comes to the realization of, the tower is split, sort of thing. And I might be jumping ahead here. In my mind, when he said that, I was like, I think we're going to get even more divisions within divisions, because even the people that come initially supporting Rand, when they find out that he's doing the amnesty to all the male channelers, not everybody in that group's going to be down with that. And then what if, like what you said, Chris, he's like, all right, I want these channelers to start pairing up with female channelers. I want y'all to learn to work together. Well, there's gonna be another group of people that are like, okay, that's where I draw the line. Like there's so many different schools of thought within the female Aes Sedai. There's no way it's just gonna be two different factions. You're gonna get just like what we had before, like a bazillion factions within each side that are doing their own schemes and meh.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I said I actually quoted this part on Twitter today, because I sometimes do quotes from the chapter we're going to cover. But the quote I did was, "I'll never trust an Aes Sedai. I will use them because I do need them. But Tower or Rebel, I know they will try to use me, because that is what Aes Sedai do. I'll never trust them, Bashir."
Well, and he's even deeper than that. I was actually going to go into that exact statement and then push it a step further. He's looking at everybody around him and thinking, who here's a dark friend?
Yeah.
And he'll use them. He don't care.
He's like, would I use these people? Yeah, definitely. Like he is at that point that I think every dictator or king or whatever gets to, where he realizes they're just my subjects and I have to make the best choice for the whole of the subjects and my agenda.
Yeah.
And that's just the individuals. So
not just in a kingdom. I mean, war is war, and he's on the war path, right? In Iraq, we had informants, we had locals that we knew were up to no good in many ways and would probably turn on us if they had an opportunity, but we still use them where we could. You just put less degree of confidence in some of the information you get, but it's still part of that picture you're painting of the battle space and whatnot. So I mean, I agree with what you're saying, but it's not necessarily like I'm this all powerful king and I'm just going to manipulate everybody. I mean, that's part of it, I guess. But I could also see just the strategy of being mission focused and I'm going to stay laser focused on the end goal that I want, and whoever I have to use to get there, that's what I got to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So back to my question about where you think we're going. I mean, Ilian's mentioned, and you said you don't know yet. But without thinking of the next chapter, I mean, we're about to get into this one, but just we've had the prologue, we've had chapter 1. Like, where do you think this book's going? Like, what do you have theories? Do you have any predictions? I mean, we are starting a new book, so.
Perrin. It's
Perrin.
going towards Perrin. I'm sorry. Like I need Perrin to
I
come
hope
back.
so.
I hope Perrin comes through the way gate or something, some form of quick transportation. And he's like, "Can I call you Papa?"
Well, he's not too far now.
No, he's not. Like I need
Yeah.
him to. I need that to be a real thing, and I need us to have some Wolf Brothers involved. And like I don't want to follow Rand anymore. Like he can go away for a book. There are other people. I want to follow Perrin, and then I think our friend Padden Fane needs to come back into play. Like we haven't heard from him in forever.
Or when is Matt finally hooking up with the Sean Chan?
Yeah.
I mean, that's got to be.
We can have a Matt book. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Yep. But realistically, I don't see Rand shouldn't push forward at all. He should sit and stay still for a little bit and train up his forces. Okay. I'm going to stick with that thought.
Okay.
And I can see people gravitating to him. We already know Perrin's coming. We already know that the rebel Aes Sedai are coming, which means that's bringing Egwene and Elaine to him. Not Egwene.
Men.
Yeah.
Men's
well,
coming.
men. But I'm saying I think more during this book they're all gonna come.
Okay.
That's kind of my thought. They're all on their way to greatness. Anyway. And then, I have that feeling where we get to the point to where he's like, getting into his relationship with all three. We got to have kind of that book to kind of set the tone for the rest. Like, aren't we midway through at this point? We're in that middle area. So
into the thick of it.
Maybe he goes and gets Kalendor back. Like, I don't say that for sure, but maybe he does that too.
I think when he learns more from who we're about to meet, that's a possibility. Because part of him setting Kalendor aside was him realizing that he's not ready for that much. Like if he goes off the deep end with that thing, he's going to disappear into nothingness. So he's got to level up some before he uses it.
Fair.
It's like the original Final Fantasy where you're not leveled up enough and you try to buy the sword and it's like, cannot equip. You're like, son of a bitch.
You're not strong enough for this.
Dun, 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 dun,
I was always
dun,
a tactics
dun,
player.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, you're jamming now. So we end this chapter with one of Bashir's men coming in saying, hey, there's a guy at the gates that wants to come in. He says his name is Mazrim Taim.
Dun, dun, dun.
And he says it to Lord Bashir, not to the Lord Dragon, the highest almighty Rand, which perturbs Rand like no other, but we'll get into that.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, we've heard this name before. I don't know if you guys recognized it when you first heard this.
Yeah.
He's
the other self-declared Dragon Reborn.
So Logain, Mazrim Taim, and Rand were like the three big. They mentioned there's some other people they had, but they were like,
yeah.
So, so that's where we end this chapter. So, any final thoughts from this? I mean, it really was a lot about dialogue between Rand and Bashir. And you're really getting to know Bashir better in this chapter. I think they're really just trying to build him as a character. I think that's what Jordan's doing here. Because obviously he's newish. He's a newish character. So is Taim. We'll get to that next chapter. But yeah.
I really like Bashir. Like, I think he's going to be one that sticks around for a while.
Okay.
Again, I am fiending for Perrin chapters, and then the interaction between him and Bashir and Fail. And then I'm with Ian. Like, I need some serious Matt chapters, not the ones that we've had. Like, we already know he's coming into play. Like, there's continuous Matt for military strategy, but
I need him to get away from Rand a little bit.
Yeah, I need some
I think that development would be very different. Yeah.
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 Okay. Interesting. Sounds good. Well, I know we're only 45 minutes in, but we're halfway through the episode. And I know the next part's going to be a lot longer. So take a quick 10-minute break. Want to take an intermission?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Let's take a quick intermission, guys. We'll be back in about 10 minutes or so. And yeah, go fill our drinks, use the bathroom, and yeah, be back.
And be ready to rock and roll.
Exactly.
All right. See you in a bit.
All right. What's up?
Nothing much. Hey, can you guys see that?
Oh no, I gotta stop the music. All right, what's up?
Hold on a second. I'll show you after I cut the blur off for a second. Y'all are gonna have to excuse the bed in the background. We're in the guest bedroom. Boom.
Oh, nice.
So we got our wedding bed
Nice.
taken care of.
Nice.
So
Nice.
Chanel made a custom guard for her engagement ring, which is super cool. And then, you know, I'm a little bougie, so I found this on sale with some stones in it, and I was like, ooh, 75% off, and I could look like I paid quite a bit. Sure, I'll take it. If I gotta wear it forever, then at least it's gonna have some blingage to it.
Nice. Nice.
So
Cool.
thank you.
Shiny.
It is.
Shiny.
It's got a ridiculous amount of diamond in it for a guy, but again, if I
Yeah.
gotta wear it forever. And
There
then
you go.
as I get old and I get tired of wearing it, and if I had daughters, I'm gonna take the stones out and turn it into stones for my daughters. That's my plan.
Nice.
Yep.
You know, you can actually turn yourself into a diamond. Like that's like big,
heard that too.
Yeah.
If I only have one child, I'll do that, and then they can profit off of me.
They can wear me forever.
Yeah.
I'll do it as a giveaway. Turn myself into... Anyway, cool. All right. So, are we ready to move on to chapter 2?
By the way, nobody else has seen that ring, but those that are here on YouTube. So,
And
you
everyone
are the
else who
first.
watches this. There you go. All right, guys, ready?
Yeah, let's go.
Ready?
Let's do
All right,
it.
chapter 2, a new arrival, and we have a sky symbol as our chapter symbol. So we're still in Camelin because we have a new arrival. It is Mazrim Taim. So yeah, there's tensions are high. Rand looks to Bashir right away and it's like, "You gonna do anything?" And he's like, "I'll respect the amnesty, but if Taim goes to Saldea."
Yep.
That's how we
Yeah,
start.
I guess that's as good as Rand could have expected this welcome.
Yeah.
At the end of last chapter, Chris, you mentioned how you weren't thrilled that the announcement about his arrival was kind of made more towards Bashir than Rand. I won't say that it was appropriate, but that's certainly where my eyes would have been when that door opened, knowing who it was. Like Rand obviously did the amnesty. It's not like I don't think Rand would just come out finger blasting the guy right when the door opened. But if anybody was going to make a move, it was going to be Bashir, and we already know he can move quick. So
Yeah, that dagger.
Right. So that's where my eyes would have been. So, anyways, I think this is about as good as an intro to this guy as we could have expected. Could have been a lot worse. And Taim, he was a cool fucking cat. Because he didn't just have swords drawn on him. As this progressed, they were like kind of piercing the skin, poking him a little bit. I mean, he was getting poked and prodded.
I had my thoughts on that too. I was like, he's probably in the void the whole time. You can be in the void and not be drawing on sighting. And this is a man who has survived decades and not gone crazy. So in my mind, he's just kind of mastered the void.
Yeah.
If
Now-
you're emotionless, then you're not drawing on that other self.
We don't know that he wasn't drawn on the power. Rand couldn't sense it, but now we have to look at some of these tricks the females are finding out. You can hide the fact that you're channeling.
True.
You could do all sorts of little tricks. So what does this guy know? Because we also find out he's old. He's been channeling a while.
Yeah.
He clearly has picked up some tricks. He's figured out how to continue to live into an old age. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's a Forsaken. But, you know.
Now, I don't think that. It hit me at first. I was like, bro, this old and this in control. And I thought the same thing. He's got to be a Forsaken. And then as I was listening, I was like, No, I don't want him to be. That's it. I don't want him to be a Forsaken.
You know what? And we'll get there, and then we'll come back to the beginning of this chapter, Alan.
Yeah.
So I got to where you're at. I was started thinking it. The part that flipped the script for me is when Rand took his command voice with him. It was like, look, Effer, you're going to do what I F and tell you, Evie, F. And he dropped to a knee. He was like, yes, I serve the dragon, blah, 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 blah. And it just seemed very sincere. It's like he recognized something in Rand, either more powerful than him, or maybe he recognized Luce Theron or something. But that quick jump to obedience, that aha moment that he had, I was like, wait a minute. I don't think this is a Forsaken thing. This might be something new that we're going to figure out, but I don't think Forsaken. But maybe
I mean, this might be more of the Taviran-ness of Rand and how it has maybe it has a greater impact on male channelers. Maybe he's the alpha and Taviran is what makes him the alpha.
Or maybe in that moment of rage, Luce Theron took over enough and Rand compelled him
to do
that without even knowing. I mean, okay, Alan, let's go back to the beginning. Where were we?
So Taim comes in and he comes in like the big dick in the locker room.
Yeah,
well, he was swinging.
He comes right in. Just like,
was it the big D or was it the old guy that comes out of the sauna just butt naked and stands next to you and dries off like one nipple at a time with a tiny towel and puts his foot up on the bench and like tries to have a full conversation with you with his saggy balls touching the ground.
I was just about to say with the long saggy balls.
And like you try not to look, but no matter what, like the balls are in your peripheral, and you're like, "Oh God!" Oh.
We used to call the old guys at the YMCA landmines because you like walk through and you look like, "Oh."
Yeah. At that point in life, they're married 20 years. They're at the Y, so it's like
they don't care.
Alan and Tim Moore.
Oh my goodness.
They don't care. But anyway. Yeah, he comes rocking right in, just like he owns the place, and he's like, "Yeah, hey, how's everybody doing?" And Davin Bashir is not happy to see him, and Taim starts to taunt him as well, which I think is a little bit much, but at the same time, it's his character. Mentions that oh, you tried to kill me, yeah, but some of your guys actually serve me now, so whatever.
Bashir kind of invited it by questioning who he was.
Right.
And I know, well, if you all out there in the world don't know, for a guy that's been rocking a beard for a very long time, when they finally shave it off, if you've only known this man with a beard for a year, 2 years, 10 years, it's a totally different person.
Yeah.
So I could see why maybe he'd be like, wait a minute, who is this fool? Because he knows him as having a beard. But anyways, that kind of opened the door, and then there was a lot of back and forth and poking and prodding.
Rand stops it eventually. He tells him if he does it again, he'll let Bashir kill him.
Yeah, my amnesty covers everything in the past. Going forward, you're going to be held accountable for what you say, what you do, sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. So yeah. And then he asked, Taim, if he wants to come join, if he's coming here for the amnesty. He's like, actually, I had something else in mind. Maybe like a compact, rather than like serve you. Maybe we can do like a kind of like.
I mean, I'll be lesser than you. I'll be a little lesser, but we're kind of partners, kind of like a 60-40 thing. How do you want to split this up?
You can call yourself captain. I just call myself co-captain. That way I have the co in front and you don't, but it's.
Right. I'll do a little asterisk.
It's so funny. The way he walks in here is like he could walk out at any point in time.
He did not seem concerned.
Period. Like it was, he said, he's like, did you come here? I mean, the direct quote, did you come to see me or to taunt Lord Bashir? And he said, to see you. You were the one in the vision in the sky. They said it was the Dark One himself you fought. But it wasn't like to ask you for your amnesty and to serve you. Like you guys said,
let's make a deal.
I just want to put my eyes on you and see if you're real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's in disbelief, is what it was.
He's kind of feeling out the authenticity of Rand being the dragon.
And
Yeah.
if he's as bad as they say he is, he probably could have walked out of there
Yeah.
if he wanted to. Rand being the only one literally that could stop him. And if Rand didn't have his Terangrial,
Mhm.
I don't think he'd be able to stop him then.
Yeah, he's
I
pretty
just get that
powerful.
feeling.
Yeah, Taim's pretty powerful.
I'm not confident that. So I wouldn't place a bet here because we don't know enough about him. Even with that little Tiangrial, gosh,
Mhm.
the T word.
It's an Ongriel, not Tongriel.
Right.
It's just Ongriel.
Ongriel. Now I'm even more confused.
Whatever.
Okay.
Well, so Tongriels, you like the Dream Ring, it does something. Ongriel
Right, yeah, no.
enhances the power. Saw Ongriels enhance the power so much.
Yeah. No, like I kind of remember that, but like it's not firmly in my long-term memory. It's like
Well,
a
there you
hazy,
go.
fuzzy. Yeah.
That's
I'm
what I'm
working
here
on it.
for.
But I wouldn't place bets here, mostly because he came in so confidently. You only do that if you feel like you have an out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm. Oh, 100%. Yeah. We talked about that in previous chapters, with even like Galad and how confident he is. Like, when you have that kind of confidence, it's like, what
Right.
you're doing.
Well, he showed you his out real quick. He drops to that knee. We're getting there.
Oh, yeah.
Eventually.
Yeah, we're getting. Yeah, and Rand shuts down the compact right away. He's like, no, that's not how this is gonna work. We're not co anything. It's you're serving me or
Yeah.
or not.
This ain't two dragons, one cup, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's it pauses for like half a second before just taking a knee and saying, "Well, did I swear full fealty to you?" And
Yeah. If you is who you is, I'm gonna follow you.
Exactly. And Rand's kind of taken back by it. Like he's like, really that fast? He's like, I don't see any other choice. So
yeah, I mean, I like his cool logic. That's why I feel like he had to have been in the void this whole time. Because cool logic kept coming to play. I mean, even Rand's
Very
statement was
stoic.
like, yeah, Rand's statement, whatever your crimes, Taim, they pale beside the Forsaken. Have you ever tortured an entire city, made thousands of people assist in breaking each other slowly and breaking their own loved ones? Like, this is that moment where, going back to your statement, Ian, clearly it wasn't just Rand speaking here. Or Rand wasn't speaking
All that
from
knowledge,
just his
yeah.
own experience. All this knowledge, because it goes on for a very long run-on paragraph about, I know there's no such thing, but in my mind there is, all of the different instances where you have Cimarog and Grendel and we have all these people, all the Forsaken and all the horrible atrocities that they've done. He's like, if you compare to them, I'm going to kill you. But you don't. And that's why you're getting this amnesty. And that's why you're getting to serve my cause. And he's like, I'm going to tell you this, you're going to pay for the amnesty tenfold over, because the same people who have gone through and done all these horrific things are the exact same people that you're going to help me fight. You have no choice in the matter. Yeah. It's either that or you don't walk out of here.
You're going to earn this shit or die. Yeah.
So or die earning it, one of the two.
Right. This speech as a whole was actually pretty awesome. I'm glad you brought us back a little bit and we didn't breeze over it. Like, I would hope Rand had this kind of planned a little bit, but if he did this off the cuff and was just winging it, I mean, it was brilliant. Like he gets into within his thoughts, thinking about it after the fact, like it has an impact on Bashir. It has an impact on everybody else there, by going through the list of all these horrible atrocities that the Forsaken have done. It kind of helps everybody else there put in perspective. They talked about how not everybody was cool with Rand doing this amnesty thing for male channelers. And so when Time walks in, they're like, oh, like there's probably at least half the people in there like, I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like this guy. We can't bring him aboard. But after hearing all that spiel, like compared to the Forsaken and knowing that the Forsaken are out there, now people are thinking, okay, one, he's not as bad as them. Two, we know Rand is powerful. However, if we're going up against all these Forsaken, maybe we do need more people on our side that can fight them. Right. So it's kind of softening everything up. So yeah, well done. Good speech.
Yeah. And immediately goes into giving him a task. He's like, all right, well, I got a plan for you. And he's like, what's that? He goes, I need you to go find and train male channelers. And he's like, what makes you think I can do that? He goes, well, can you? And he's like, I mean, I've done it before. So
can you sense it? Can you train him? That sort of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. He already told Rand he could.
Right.
Because like, make me, you know, an underling just directly under you. There's so much I can give you, so much I can teach you.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And Rand's like, well, that's exactly what you're going to do. You're going to teach, not necessarily me, but you'll teach everybody. And I have a feeling Rand is going to learn a lot just by watching and listening. And
yeah.
But so we're seeing here that Cimarog has a power that Rand may not have. And that is the ability to sense other channelers.
Yeah.
Like Rand could sense them when they were channeling.
Mm-hmm.
But Cimarog's implying that he can sense them.
Not Cimarog, Taim.
I'm sorry. Thank you.
Taim.
So he is implying that he can find them just in a crowd.
Like if they have the potential to channel. Like he can test them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he said he's done it before. I mean, he had a young man he met that could channel, and he started teaching him, but he went mad, so he had to kill him. So he's like, "Yep, I tried before, but ended up killing him." So,
which brought me to another thought. Like, I know it was female channelers that killed old Tom's nephew, but what if there was a spin to all this and it wasn't really?
We have to wait to find out what's in Tom's note. So one, it could be this is the person that gentled your nephew, or maybe there's some weird plot twist where like he didn't actually die or something and he got carried off somewhere else and he's still alive and regained his abilities. Who knows?
Who knows?
Or maybe it's a love note.
Yeah.
It's just the horn from the unicorn.
Exactly. Find me where only the unicorns can come. Rescue me.
Giggity.
So what do you think about Luz Theron and Rand's head? Because Luz does not like him at all. Kill him right now. Just kill them all.
So is this Luz having, okay, so this is where I teetered back to this Forsaken thing. Is Luz just having flashbacks of the nature of the relationship? Like he felt threatened by, other people around him and then try to kill him back in his time? Or does Luz Theron actually recognize him as somebody that he knew during his time? I'm kind of leaning more towards that. Like it seems a lot of our main characters are being influenced by some version of them from the past or some version of somebody else from the past, right? So why not this guy also? And then why wouldn't Luz Theron recognize him?
I think this is the Luz after losing his love, and he's completely bonkers. And it just so happens he's gone bonkers inside of Rand's head. And he has distrust for everyone that channels outside of himself. And with that level of distrust, the only thing to do to make sure you're safe and to make sure the world is safe, because in his mind, you just ended his entire world by taking his love. And he himself was so mad that he was the one that committed the acts. So in his mind, kill them all, and I too should be dead.
Yeah.
That's just a man that's angry and depressed.
Yeah, so it's not just that Rand is kind of going crazy because he has another voice in his head, but the other voice in his head is going fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's already crazy.
It's like Inception crazy.
Yeah, it's like every now and then it goes away from the crazy and you get something useful out of it.
Right, here's some good advice. This is how you tie your shoes. Now fucking kill them all!
With the shoestrings.
Right. Jesus, I just tried to get the rabbit back down the hole. Why are we now choking out everybody?
Choke the rabbit. Choke
chill
it.
Out, Luz. I thought we were in the badger.
My kids to tie their shoes, put the rabbit's head through the hole. Now choke it.
Choke it. And then you snap the neck real quick.
I can hear my in-laws
do,
now.
do double note. Make sure he's choking for good
Double
measure.
knot.
Yeah.
Double knot there. Oh man,
Just add
about to
another.
get reported by PETA here. Come on, guys. The rabbit stew is delicious though. Now you got me all hungry.
So yeah, he's also wondering if Taim's actually sane. Rand's having these thoughts about whether he actually is. He's surrounded with people that want to kill him, and he's just cool as a cucumber. Like, is he sane?
Well,
to be determined. Yeah.
I was gonna say again. I still feel like he's mastered the void.
Okay.
I mean, this man walked into a room of Aiel and literal soldiers that want to kill him with the blades into his side, and he is on absolute chill mode. So either he found some really good grass to smoke before he came in, or he's just that in control. And I think you have to remain in that constant state of control to avoid going crazy.
Yeah.
Like he has no answer for why he hasn't gone mad. He just hasn't.
Well, that's what he's telling us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, all I have to compare it to are the relationships within the Aes Sedai. And what did Nynaeve and Elaine just find out? Well, there's a bunch of little tricks and there's a bunch of different channels that different Aes Sedai know that they don't share with each other, that they keep as like their ace in the hole. So
yeah, like
why wouldn't the male channelers also do that? You gotta keep something close to your chest. Why would he teach Rand everything he knows? He's got to hold on to the one or two things that he thinks he could use to defend himself against Rand if the time ever came. So
true,
we're not gonna get it all.
Yeah,
and I don't blame him for it.
Yeah,
why?
And then the next scene, he's come bearing gifts. He's like, well, I actually got something for you too. And pulls out a little disc.
And Luz, what is he doing? I don't even know what he's doing in there.
Break them all. All must break.
Break them.
Must break. Must all them all break them and strike. This must quickly strike.
Just give me something to break. Yeah. About your fucking face.
In my mind,
Luz is playing a Limp Bizkit just in his head.
Yeah. Exactly.
I feel like though, had they been all shattered, had the Dark One been released early, would he have gained his full power back? Like, would he be able to do what he has planned, or would there be a better chance of beating him right now than beating him later?
Is it like a vampire that comes out of a long rest? They got to feed for a while to get their full strength. Like, do you get them when they're weak?
Yeah, and like right now, he is amassing an army. He's got, bigger, badder people that he's creating. And what is that? The beast from earlier on? The oh Lord. The
taller version of the Fade?
Yeah, the Fade. Like he's got bigger, badder Fades. Like he's creating a bigger, badder army. Nah, we need to strike now. Kill him while he's still weak before he creates bigger, badder, and before he gets more people on his team.
But I don't think you have the weapon you need to beat him. And the weapon might not even be Rand. Let's go back to the Tinkers looking for their song. And we kind of theorized that the song is probably some sort of like a harmony or complex harmony that requires like all these different cultures or all the people or all the beings across the land to kind of come together with,
Yeah. Well, see, in my mind, you get a pumped up Rand with Calendar and you go and you stabby and we're done. Poke.
Yeah.
And then everybody else that was connected to him just dies. It's hive mind.
Maybe everybody's joshing with us, and this is actually over by book 7.
And then book 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 are all about Perrin and Mat.
Yeah, after the last battle. It's them just having good old times.
Yep.
Yeah. So you think the last battle's like this book, and then we just have like unicorns, rainbows, and
Well,
precious
definitely more unicorns. You mean we've already had
more
some unicorns.
more unicorns and rainbows and
Yeah, some butterflies.
yeah, butterflies,
Some love stories.
some kumbaya.
So we have the Quindiar, and it's
Mhm.
flaky. So my question is do they still hold power as long as they're whole?
I mean, can you just rub some Head and Shoulders on that? You know,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, can we find a way to strengthen it? Like, is there
Some
is
fast
there
acting tenactin.
is there a source of power that we can use, or a spell, or something we use to like glue it, like spray on glue?
yeah.
So
when you make
the
it,
channeling used to form those was male and female channeling together in like large groups, right?
yeah.
Mhm.
I think we got hinted at that. So with the info we have right now, one, you need to get one of these in front of Elaine, see if she can study it. And then we got to get some male and female channelers linked up to work on it together. And we are so far from that happening.
Flex Seal, though, that I agree. I'm looking at the comments. Flex Seal
just slaps it on there.
Just slap it on. But
Get some Gorilla Glue, you know.
Yes, it's already been created. We just need to keep it whole. Like, you shouldn't need the same amount of power to keep it whole than to create it. Like, you drop that glass and you chip it and you still have the pieces. You just glue it back together. You don't need the whole machines and the heating process. All you need is some adhesive.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and let it be the next generation's problem. That's what we do already. Maybe that's how we break the wheel, is just make it the next generation's problem, and that has never happened before.
That hit a little close to home, buddy.
You know, one of the many reasons why I joined the Army at the time I did, I was like, all right, let me go put my 2 cents in now while I can, try and help the effort, and let's be done with this shit. Because eventually, you know, at the time I didn't have kids, but I was like, you know, when I get back, I'm going to want to start a family, have kids, and you know, you always want your kids to live in peace and everything. And now my oldest are both at the age where they could join the military right now, and Lord knows we're still trying to start something somewhere nonstop. I mean, that's all we do is fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's
so much
all
for
we've
that.
ever done. Ever since the first person ever was able to carve a stone into a pointy end.
Yeah. I'm gonna poke this dude with it and take his stuff. Your stuff better than my stuff. Poke. Now my stuff.
And then he had with 2 eyes and realized it was not a good idea. Then he created monogamy.
Yeah. And if everybody's reborn, good point, Commissioner Snack. You know, it's the future dragon's problem. You know, just the next dragon.
The next turning of the wheel.
But that's the thing. We have the dragons always address it, and they always lose. Well, why not address it at all? Then you've changed the pattern.
Have you not seen Groundhog Day? You have to do something. Like, he went through and learned the piano, and he memorized everybody's routines, and he tried to help everybody. And even when that didn't work, he tried killing himself. And then he would just lay in bed all day, and he tried the do nothing. The do nothing doesn't work. You have to find that right course of action.
There's spoiling the movie for me.
There's just one way it could happen.
But that's how you surf, right? Do less. Do less.
I have not actually watched that movie. I need to go back and do it. I know all about it, but I have not watched it.
I actually did spoil it for you some. I'm sorry, buddy.
It's okay. No.
It's still going to be very entertaining. I did not really take anything away.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I don't know when I'll ever watch it, but...
Bill Murray, if you listen to our podcast, you're always welcome to come on as a guest.
Oh, my goodness. Absolutely. He's fantastic.
He is hilarious.
Yeah. So, anyways, so what do you think about Taim's backstory on how he got it? Because they asked him, like, where'd you get this? He's like, oh, you know, some farmer.
It would make sense that they have people that were supposed to be guarding these things. I don't feel like the past Aes Sedai would have been so lackadaisical.
But have we heard this story before? Think back to book 2. Patton Fane when he met Lord Turok.
The Shan Chan guy?
The Shan Chan guy.
Yeah.
They asked him how he got, I think it was the horn. He said, well, I lived to serve for generations as it passed down. Because
yeah.
Huh.
Sketch.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
but, okay. So the Aes Sedai were charged with protecting the seals, right?
Did you hear that?
Oh, Patton Fane being time?
Is time Patton? Now that would be quite interesting.
All right, so I wouldn't be mad at it, but then we would need like an entire book that is following Patton Fane, because if he's having all these progressions from where he was to now he's this, I got to know that fucking story. I'm not saying it wouldn't be interesting or that I would be mad if it happened. I need to know. You can't just level up a character like that and just be like, and to make the story work, he is now level 53 and he is time. Like, no, fucking let's go see how he got there.
Yeah. We know they're not one and the same because they've been around during the same time. So doing different things in different parts of the world. But
sure.
I like that short.
Back to the seals thing. The Aes Sedai are supposed to be the protectors of the seals.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Watcher of the seals. Yeah.
Watcher of the seals. But they've changed over the many thousands of years. So much understanding what they're supposed to be doing has changed. There's been power struggles. Maybe at some point early on, the people that physically had them that were part of the Aes Sedai, they saw the power struggles. They were like, we need to do a better job of hiding them so this doesn't affect the seals. It makes me think of like the Aiel, that they were all supposed to be these way of the leaf folk and not pick up a weapon. And then somebody eventually said, no, it's translated as don't use a sword. As long as we don't use a sword, we're good. We'll just use other weapons and spears and shit. Like, like their purpose gets effed up and lost along the way.
Right. It's also been like thousands of years. I mean, have you ever been dolphin watching? Like, if you watch dolphins, like the first time it's really exciting, and then like the second time it's still really exciting. Third, fourth, fifth time it's really exciting, and then you see a dolphin, you're like, dolphin.
Just
I mean, watching seals is probably the same thing. Unless a killer whale comes and eats the seal, like it's kind of boring.
You know those videos where the seals get on the boat to hide from the killer whale? Alan would be on the back of the boat with an oar poking it back in the water. And be like, swim for your life, buddy. Entertain me.
He did go all the way around the world. For me. So.
I'm bored.
It's always, but like, I mean, seriously though, but like, so I mean, not seriously about Tokyo seal, but like, but like on the sailboat, like we race sailboats, and like almost, I would say about half the time we go out racing, dolphins come by our boat, like, and
they like it.
Anytime you have a new person on the boat, like, oh my god, there's dolphins all around us. I was like, yeah, they're always all around us.
Yeah, would you please shut up and trim the sail? Like, we're racing here.
Like, yeah, they're here. Yeah, they live here. It's the water. It's the ocean. That's where they live.
Although, as much as I've seen that and had small pods of dolphins, and you do kind of get used to it. When I was delivering the William T. Paquette, and we were coming up, I think we were off the coast of South Carolina or Georgia, right before we came into Georgia. Where it was like a couple pods kind of came together. We had one big one with us, and then you could see more splashes kind of coming from another direction. And when I say hundreds, I mean hundreds. And then they all started moving in the same direction with us. And we were way offshore at this point. So no other boats, nothing else around. That was awesome. I swung out on the boom and tied myself off the end of the boom and was hanging out of the water. And like you could reach down and touch them as they were swimming by. It was so cool.
They were trying to decide whether or not they're going to hijack y'all.
Probably.
Like, what is this?
Dolphins are smart.
They are. What is it?
Or gang rape us, because apparently they do that too.
Yeah,
I hate to break it to you, but they're.
I have a friend of mine. His name's Peter Vortic, and he's a surfer. Lives in Virginia Beach, surfs all the time, and he is terrified of dolphins because he's not been attacked once by dolphins, not twice. He's been attacked 3 separate times by dolphins while surfing in Virginia Beach. Like literally, like rammed in, like bruised ribs, cracked ribs, like. I was like, man,
He must
dolphins
give
don't
off a
like you, man.
pheromone or something. Yeah.
I was like, he has some bad vibes. They're the nicest guy in the entire world, but the dolphins do not like him.
He needs to change his diet or whatever soap he's using because he's giving off something that's.
They're like, no, screw
Or
that
maybe
guy.
they're
Peter
really
guy's
good
back.
vibes and they're trying to get him at a moment.
Yeah, maybe.
They
That
got a
too.
sixth sense of humor, and they're like, "Tony's back in the water. Fuck him up." No, don't touch anybody else. Just him. Just him.
Just him.
He don't even know why. Sucker.
Peter, if you ever listen to us, I apologize for telling your secrets about dolphins. But yeah, he's terrified of them. He hates dolphins.
Yeah, I don't think I'd like them either.
Chanel would be mortified. She absolutely loves dolphins, but I don't think she's ever been in the water with them. So
Yeah, I swam with them in the wild. I not touched them, but I've been in the water when they've come close. It's definitely not as
It's cool.
It's cool, but it's definitely scary too because you realize it's still a wild animal and it still can kill you.
Right. And you're very vulnerable in the water, even if you're a great swimmer. Compared to them, they could swim circles around you. Yeah.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Yeah. It's like when they figured out the dolphins. So now we're going on dolphin tangent because when dolphins actually have serial killers, they're serial killer dolphins. That actually was in Virginia Beach the first time they actually found that out. So yeah, they actually there's young small porpoises, harbor porpoises started washing up on shore, and they looked like they'd been beaten with a baseball bat. They thought some guy was rowing out there and taunting the dolphins up, and like some person was beating with a baseball bat, like beating dolphins and killing dolphins. That was some sick person doing it, and then they started trying to send teams out to try to find out what was going on. They found out it was actually a rogue dolphin, a single rogue dolphin that wasn't part of any pod, that was getting pleasure in just punting small dolphins and killing them.
Maybe that's the same one that it's the same one that keeps fucking up Peter.
Yep.
That's the same one. It was like a serial killer dolphin. It just was like, oh yeah,
you, think you and your pod think you're safe.
Oh man.
Yeah. Anyway. So
what book are we on? What are we doing here?
So Mazrim Taim is a dolphin, and he has some seals, and he wants to feed them to killer whales. That's what we're talking about.
Exactly. Perfect analogy.
Yeah. So so now Rand's trying to break the seal. Bashir stops him, and that's kind of how we end this chapter with that happening. And then Rand saying, "It's off to the farm for you." And Mazrim Taim's like, "The farm? What's the farm?" He goes, "We'll talk about it later. Let's go to the farm." He's like, "What's the farm, man?" He's like, "I'm not gonna tell you what the farm is."
I'm taking you where you can serve me, he said coolly. Done. But as his time did not flinch nor frown. He merely watched and waited, the corner of his mouth twitching from one moment in that almost smile.
Can we talk about that tiny interaction of Bashir stopping him?
Oh, yes. I was going to go back to that. Marshal General. The man was as mad as a hare in spring thaw. Twice every day he searched his body serving for poison, and he drank nothing but vinegar and water, which he claimed was sovereign against the poison the fellow fed him. But he ate everything the man prepared for as long as he knew him. Once he had a grove of oaks chopped down because they were looking at him. Then, insisting they be given a decent funeral, he gave the oration. Do you have any idea how long it takes to dig graves for 23 oak trees?
So again, having the right person in place to advise Rand and to be with Rand. This is somebody that has experience serving a freaking whack job. That even though they're a whack job, like they can do great things. So you have to learn how to handle them without infuriating them. Notice he didn't run up to Rand and go, "What are you doing? Don't break that seal, you numbnuts." He was kind of like, "Yeah, maybe you do decide to break it. And if you do, that's your call, buddy. Well, why don't we think about it for a little while? We don't have to make that decision right now." Like just, trying to table it a little bit, give Rand that opportunity to take a breath and be like, "Oh shit, what am I doing?" So good person for Rand to have around right now. And if he turns out to be a bad guy, I'm gonna be so pissed. I have high hopes for Bashir. And Bashir and Perrin. I do want to see that interaction.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
You think Dagger's gonna turn to Perrin?
Oh yeah.
Is he gonna talk to Perrin while sharpening his knives? Is it gonna be that sort of thing? Like, let me show you my shotgun.
Pull the leather
collection,
out
boy.
and start.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that. It's like, oh, dad's here. Because he's not coming alone. Fael will be there, so
You
Hey,
did
Pops.
what to my daughter?
Also, I'm kind of like a queen-ish. I don't know. Yeah, sorry.
and I'm pregnant with a litter.
Hey.
Hey, there you go.
How crazy would that be if they were have all knocked? Well, Matt's
Pups,
probably knocked
pups come
up
out
5
with
or 10.
Ogier ears. Like, what the fuck?
All of a
Matt
sudden,
probably has
Mari
10
shows up.
children.
He is not the father.
No. Perrin's the type of character to go that would like see it. It'd be obvious to everyone, but he'd be like, they're definitely my children. I love them.
That's who else we haven't heard from in forever.
Loyal. He's writing his books.
I've had that happen once before to me, where someone didn't know that my
Where
wife.
somebody didn't think you were the father.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah.
They didn't know my wife. They're like, that's not your kid, dude. Yes, it is. I guarantee
my poor
it's my
mother.
kid.
She went through the same thing.
Actually, I know for a fact for the first one, because that was we had to do what was it, a UIE or whatever for we had fertility things. So yeah, so that was actually done at the doctor's office. So unless the doctor's fucked up.
I was gonna say we do that one doctor with 97 children, so
Yeah.
no, that child is yours.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. All of them are.
Yeah. Every now and then,
Shitheads.
especially now since Ryder is 17, and then River 12, Ronan 6, and they honestly they don't even really look like siblings. Well, you know Ryder. But anyway, so when I have the three of them, we're out and about, and it's come up in conversation with other folks, and I'm like, these are my three boys, da da da, and they always look at Ryder like pull me aside, be like, he's yours too? Do you have some height in your family? I'm like, yeah. You can't see the fucking family resemblance? Like, come on, it's look at his nose, look at mine. This is spot on, and we don't look anything alike. So
yeah,
I just try to make him feel like shit for bringing it up.
Good times. Anyways, so that's what
my
we
nephews look like me, so I hope my children look more like my fiance.
Yeah,
if not, I'm sorry.
Well, my kids don't look like either one of us. It's one of those
no, they
things.
don't.
Like,
they're very unique looking.
They're very unique. Like they don't look like my wife. They look like me. They're very unique.
But they look a lot like each other.
But they look like each other. Yeah, they all look like each other. Like 100% like each other. But yeah. Anyway, so yeah. Anything else from these chapters?
See, my grandfather's family and my grandmother's family, they live close enough in proximity where there's probably some interbreeding generations back, and
yeah, sure,
so they all look alike.
That explains a lot, Chris.
There's not a lot of genetic mixture there.
I see it now.
That family tree does not branch.
Stop pruning the damn tree. Let the branches
grow. But no, nothing else about the chapter. Not at all.
All right. So
this is kind of a good intro to this book.
It is.
I will say
cool things are happening, lots of possibility. It's nice.
That's what's killing me. The lots of possibility, because what makes matters worse is Chanel's on like chapter 22 at this point.
Oh yeah, so I forgot to ask about that.
Oh, shit's every 5 minutes. Oh, shit's going down. And now I'm like,
just messing with you.
Is she
Jordan doesn't write that much action.
After the end of these, because at the end of chapter 3 or 4, she was like, oh. I mean, at the end of chapter 2, she's like, oh, shit's going down. I'm like, huh? She's like, yeah, shit's going down. Like, I can't tell you, but after reading these 2 chapters, I'm like, was it really that big of a deal? I mean, yeah, we some shit did go down, but it wasn't as big of a deal as I thought. So is she leading me on?
But remember, she didn't have to stop at chapter 2. She plowed right into chapter 3. And maybe in 2 paragraphs from now, shit goes down.
Maybe at the farm, it's like chaos.
Chaos.
Absolute chaos. It's like a little kid just running around, like stabbing people. Like, you know, like you ever been to, like one of the daycares? You like walk in, like it's just utter chaos.
There's gonna be like
who's
one goofball guy that comes up to Rand and like moves his leg and his knee pops, and he's like, "My knee pops when I do this. Does that mean I could channel?" Like, son of a bitch.
Yeah, there's we had it got better. We had daycare. My son was in. There's one time I showed up and like literally like kids are screaming running around everywhere. Like one kid's hidden. There's a fire in the corner. Like not really, but it's like, you like walk in like, what is going on here? It's like Lord of the Flies. Just
Like, is that poop on the wall? Where am I? What is going on?
It's just chaos. My kid's safe.
Those are the best.
Oh yeah.
Get all the germs. They get all the head, beatings, everything they need in one spot.
Mm-hmm.
Last tangent before you get us on favorite character. You mentioned that I did field day for Ronan's kindergarten class last Friday.
I'm claiming Bashir, by the way. Keep going.
Damn it! I was gonna roll right into that at the end of my statement. Oh no! All right, I'll talk slowly so I have time to think of another one. Son of a gun. But so that reminded me of 2 things. If I were ever to get into teaching, it cannot be with little kids, especially not these days.
No.
Let me tell you, it wasn't just that they were wild in a cute way. There was a bunch of maniacs. And I get that it was field day, so maybe that was playing into it, but they didn't listen to the teachers. They didn't listen to nobody. They were doing everything they weren't supposed to, except for a small handful, which my kid was one of them. And it just reminded me, I get frustrated with my kids every now and then, but I have to remind myself, I have such good kids. The little things they get in trouble for are like little stupid stuff compared to so much other crap out there. So proud dad moment. And also I can never teach little kids. I would lose my mind.
No.
Total chaos.
Somebody who has worked with all age groups. The little kids, though, once you get them on track, the same things work so well. So, like the little, you get a whole crowd of just, and it's like instant attention. But you get to them high schoolers, it's like, what do? You want to
treat them work no more.
Yeah, you treat them like adults. Oh no, the clap still works. That's how well trained they are. If you're a good teacher, I'm sitting in the 8th grade like ha 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 ha, and 3/4 of the room. Ha, 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 ha. Like, yes, y'all are still kids in art. You just don't know it. Pablo was right.
Yeah. Conditioning works.
He was onto something.
He was.
All right. So you stole Bashir from me. Son of a gun.
I knew where you were going to go. I was like, he thinks he's going to get the jump on me.
I was. I mean, he's the obvious here. The Penne general himself.
I mean, Taim. I'll take Taim.
No, don't. I don't need no handouts.
You have Bashir.
Fine, I took him. I got Bashir now. I'm not going to double offer back. I gave you one single offer. You're like, no, don't do that. And you double offer. Well, hell yeah, I got to take Bashir. Bashir's the man. Taim's good too. Awesome.
I like Taim because of the smile that ended the 2nd chapter.
Yeah.
Makes me have faith that shit is about to go down first and foremost. Like Chanel keeps saying it. But
it's about to go down.
If he is actually a good character, which I'm the smile at the end really kind of threw me really bad. So maybe it's just Jordan's writing that to be able to instill that much questioning in my mind with a smirk, because I'm a smirker. When I smirk, something's not right.
I would trade Taim for Asmodean all day long right now. If I could do a swappy swap right now, I'd swap.
Yeah.
Because I was really starting to trust Asmodean.
Asmodean's awesome.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
now I'm
it's
back to questioning this guy and his smirk. What the hell's
too
that smirk mean?
coincidental to have somebody just pop up right away.
What
And
if
kind of
Taim
be
was the
ready
one
to-
who killed Asmodean?
There, boom,
Mm.
good thought. Because he's like, you. And then that circles back to your maybe he is a dark friend. Because that smile made me spiral so much. And I just don't want to spiral. I want something to go right for these people. Like, I really do. I want Ferran to have some stability. I want for him to get some good help. But I could also see Taim being, yes, I know, Lord of Chaos. I could see him coming in and seeing all these male channelers and being like, whoosh, whoosh, wah, and then they
Teamwork, yay.
all die, and then
Oh,
he
shit.
like hightails it out of there.
Wait, that's how he's able to live longer. It's like a
Steals their lives.
Highlander type thing. Only there could be only one, and you get their power
I
by
actually have
offing
the
them.
sword in my closet.
Oh snap! Oh, that's right. Yeah. but what if that's it? Because he casually is like, oh yeah, I trained somebody up, but he went a little cuckoo, so I killed
Life
him.
essence.
Mm-hmm. Drinking some unicorn blood, getting that half-life.
Right?
That's why there's no unicorns left.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because the dark one got them all.
Got them all.
Gotta catch them all.
And that's why the power is tainted, because you can't just drink unicorn blood.
Yeah.
We knows it does bad things.
Yeah. There's all sorts of crazy things.
Touching the dark one's taint. the dark one. I can't believe I said that. I even tried to intentionally not say it, and I said it. It doesn't help you laughing like that, because I feel like if I touch the dark one's taint, that's the kind of giggle I'd get.
We have a
Giggity.
we have a question in chat. Do I keep track of the favorite characters each week? No.
Yeah.
No, I
guess
think
if you want to come on every night from this point forward and keep track of that for us, that would be phenomenal.
that'd be great.
Yeah.
I should keep track.
Then we know who the best character in the series is for us.
Yeah, we start writing off statistics about
Landfear has taken it quite a few times. So is Perrin.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So is Perrin. So is Matt.
I had a lot of Matts early on. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd actually be curious.
Yeah, I would be. I go back and listen to the end of every episode. I'll see if I can find time.
That's a lot of listening.
I think Tom Honest has the record. Yes, Tom Honest is always the favorite character. He's always mine. He's in my heart. So next time on the Will Reads, we'll be covering 2 chapters again. New spreadsheet tab. Yeah. If you've seen my sheets, man, anyways, next time, 2 chapters. A Woman's Eyes. And a sense of humor. Which is not going to be funny.
That smirk. A Woman's Eyes. I think we're going to get some Eyes to Die. I think that's going to be a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And from a woman's perspective, that would just make sense.
In your eyes,
I
the light, the heat, your eyes.
Or how long does it take for men in the crew to get there?
Ooh.
They could always jump time and be like, 2 weeks have passed.
Exactly. So maybe this is a men chapter. She's kind of coming, getting a feel for Rand.
And her visions.
Her visions, and then she also sees her competition.
I like that. I could go for some men. Yeah.
Okay.
And then the other one was what?
A sense of humor.
A sense of humor. I think this is when Bashir finally meets Perrin. He's like, yeah, you think you're my son-in-law?
Perrin is on his way, so that could be.
Really? And then she, Fael steps out of the shadows. Hey, Dad. And he's like, wait,
Wait, for real?
Got some puppies coming.
with Ogier ears.
As Dana Lou said earlier, there is some oil is there.
That's right. Huh.
Can they
Interesting.
crossbreed? That is a good question. Can humans and Ogier breed?
Sure. Sure.
Is that how you get Trolloc?
They can have fun trying.
Ogier are quite large.
You don't know if they are there.
That's true. Do they even wear pants?
Yes.
No, they're like Donald Duck. He'll wear a shirt when he's walking around with no pants, but when he gets out of the shower, he wraps a towel around his waist with no shirt.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Exactly.
So whether you knew it or not, you've seen Donald Duck fully naked.
Mm-hmm.
That's
just
true.
one half at a time.
Yeah. Now you're scarred. Anyway.
On that note.
So also, how we can be found? We have a new website. I don't know if you guys knew that.
I did. I saw the announcement.
Yeah, I went to it.
The littlereads.com. It's still the same web address, but I actually broke down and actually made my own website. So I've been it's 3 years in or whatever. How many years you've been doing this? I'm like, that's fine.
With all that free time you have.
So I made a website, and
it looks really good, Jaw. It really does.
Thank you. Yeah, so it has a lot of cool stuff. You can find links to literally everything there. Beforehand, you had to dig for links. We had some confusion, so I used to just direct it to the Great Blight's website and say, "Oh yeah, our merch is on there," and then people would message me like, "You can choose a merch item," and then they'd click on the store button, which was the greatblight.com store, not our store, and they're like, "Yeah, I want this," and I'm like, "That's not our merch." So, but now it's our website. It's actually just ours. So not that the greatblight.com is not a great website. We are still there. You can still see our profile there if you go there. But now if you click on the store, it goes to our merchandise site. So you can buy merch there. We sell all sorts of things like T-shirts, frosty mugs, baby onesies. We have our own little baby line. It's fantastic. In case you're thinking about having a kid, or if you have a little one, or if you know someone that has a little one. They are Wheel of Time related, but they are cute enough where you don't have to necessarily be a Wheel of Time fan. They have one that's like Born with a Spark, stuff like that wouldn't necessarily be anyone could wear that, and it wouldn't. That people would know. But anyway, it's go check out the merch. Also, you can support us in lots of different ways. Just listening to us, of course, is a great way to support us. We do have Patreon. There's also a couple other ways to support us as well. The links are all there on the website. So, littlereads.com. Just go there. Find everything. That's kind of like the one-stop shop now. So, that's it.
Perfect.
You can even write reviews on there. We got a review actually today on our website. Was
it a good one?
it was a 5-star review. It was.
Oh, nice.
So, and that was our first ever website review. We've had.
It was me, guys.
So if you review us, if you review us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, I actually was able to link the website, so those reviews show up on our website as well. But you can review us actually on the website itself, or sign up for email notifications, all sorts of good stuff. So, yeah, go check it out.
My favorite number is 5. So when we get to 5, the 5th person will get a mug.
We have a lot more than 5 reviews. Or 5th website review?
5th website review.
Okay. Yeah. If I can find them. The problem with reviews is like it says their name, but like there's no email or contact information. So it's kind of like we can announce it like, hey,
have to listen too.
They have to listen like, hey, you're the one that reviewed us. You get free stuff. Contact me. And I don't know how I'm going to verify it, but we can try.
We'll give it a good try.
We'll give it a good college try. So, do you also offer the Red Rock Triangle? No,
we've got one. We've got one.
We have one, huh?
There's one
But
You
available.
know what we should do? We should start sending that to our random patrons and then having them pass it around.
I actually had someone win a giveaway, and they're like, "I would like this, but please do not send the red rod to me."
It's still in my trunk.
We should
So
pick a
when
random
we were
fan.
taking stuff to the new house, I had my car full of stuff, and the kids are helping to pull stuff out of the trunk, and I'm not paying attention. And Ronan's walking inside with that box, just that box in his hand, and I'm like, "Don't open it! Don't open it! Don't open it!" Dad, what's this? It's a mixer of sorts.
What me and my girlfriend do in the
Does
bedroom
Meredith
is,
know about this, by the way?
What's that?
Does she know about it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's used, of course.
Yeah. All right. Sign us out.
Until next time.
And that's all I got for this week, guys. So
Until next time.
Peace.
okay, bye.